My name is Jesse Reichler. I'm a programmer at donationcoder.com and part of the YouTube channel Co-op for Two, which does board game playthroughs and reviews. And this is another video in our sort of behind the scenes series where I show some of the editing tools, software, and hardware we use on our little YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you another small custom Adobe Premiere extension that I've written called ZoomKeys. So if you see here, I've just loaded in a video. I'm going to bring in, if you check out the README for the extension, and there'll be links below, we can just load it in here. Here's the extension. This is one of the smaller little extensions, and it basically just does one thing. It creates some motion keys for you to help you do smoother zoom and pan animations. So again, this is not, this just helps you make edits. Once everything it does, you could do by hand. So I'll just give you an example of the kind of things we use it for. If you've got like a top-down view, and let's say we've got this little edit here, little section which is showing a top-down view of something. Now, we like to do, when I edit these videos, I'm very focused on getting things done quickly. So if I want a close-up, let's say I want this clip to be close-up on these pieces, you would go into the effect controls and you could do something like a 200 scale, and then you move it in a little bit and zoom it in, then maybe you move it out a little bit to get everything okay. So, and then there's the clip, it's zoomed in, and obviously you could tweak all these things, move it around. Okay, so that's how you would do it normally. Now, if you wanted it to be a little less jarring for the viewer, what you'd like to do is add some keyframes so that it doesn't just start all the way zoomed in. Maybe you'd like it to actually start at a far away zoom and then actually push in and then maybe pull out when you're done. Okay, so that's what this extension does. You go to a clip, you set the zoomed in, you change the scale and position however you want it. Here I've got it focused in on this area. Then you go to the zoom keys and then you choose whether you want to push in to this zoom setting that you set. So I've set this manually at this location and with this zoom factor. We're going to try this one. We're just going to say add push in and pull out keyframes. That should push in the beginning and then near the end of the clip pull out. So I'm going to click this button here, and if you see, if I switch back to the edit controls, let's just move this a little bit more here, you can see here are the keyframes that have gotten added. So basically it starts out at 100% and then it's going to zoom in after a little while, and then when it gets to the end, it's going to zoom out back, zoom and pan back to the normal position. So if we just watch this in real time, let's see, which one was it? Was it here? What edit did I do? No, it's this one here. Okay, so let's watch it in real time.
All the rules and things pretty easy game to learn. Here's our tokens. Very similar to the first game if you got that.
So there you have. So that's all it's done. It's just added these keyframes. Now, in Adobe Premiere scripting, there are certain features that you have access to and certain features you don't. Often you'd like these keyframes to be eased, but the plugin doesn't have the ability to do that. So sometimes I'll go and I'll select all of these and select to, sorry, I can't see it from this camera blocking me, but I can change these to ease in. It just changes the zoom to sort of slow down at the end
rules
of the
and
process.
things pretty easy game to learn. Here's our tokens.
Sometimes can be
very similar to the first game if you got that. It's actually probably the same.
Noticeable.
More tokens. Two token sheets.
So that's essentially what this entire extension does. It just gives you different ways to do this. We saw I did a smooth push in and pull out, you can set the initial delay, the end hold. That's, if you look at that, that's what this period here, this is the initial delay before it starts zooming in, and here's the hold. So you can see it'll finish its zoom back out here and then hold it before the clip changes. And you can of course manually move these after you edit it. After it does its work, it's actually trivial to tweak these by hand. But creating these initial keyframes is kind of annoying, so that's where the extension can be useful. Sometimes you just want to do a push in, sometimes you just want to do a pull out to 100%, so you can use these. This one here is not that useful, but sometimes you want to do like a zoom in, zoom in, zoom in very abruptly. It sort of gives it's almost like a spit take comedic effect. But there you have it. That's what it does. You can easily just delete the keyframes in the current sequence. You can push this to replay it just so that you can check it out after you do it.
All the rules and things, pretty easy game to learn. Here's our tokens.
Try again.
Very similar to the first game if you got that.
Have it
Actually,
replace
like
it.
probably the
just
same.
remember that the process for setting it up can be a little unusual. First, you create the clip of the section that you care about, like from here to here. Then you go into this clip and you manually set the scale and the zoom, the scale and the position where you want the camera to zoom into or zoom out of. Once you've got your clip marked and you've manually set the final scale and position, then you come to the extension and then you pick it. So I'll say add pull out to here. And now if we watch this frame, you can see, remember I set it zoomed in and positioned. And when I told to pull out, I restarted it. And now you can see this starts zoomed out, starts zoomed in, and then pulls out to 100%.
It should be
And
Magneto.
again, everything is visible here.
Professor.
If we, sorry, it was this one. If we go to the effects, you can see, I'll just zoom in a little bit. You can see there's the keyframes that it's added. I told it to zoom in, so it started zoomed in, and then we said click in after 500 milliseconds and start zooming out, and there it is, and now it's pulled out. So there you have it, Zoom keys. Very simple, just helps you do one thing a little more elegantly, a little more pleasing to the eye. And there you have it. I'll see you on the next video.